In her infinite wisdom, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt admitted that there really is no plan at the White House to prevent oil and therefore gasoline prices from skyrocketing as a result of Donald Trump's attacks on Iran. Now, we are in the middle of what is maybe a ceasefire. We don't know. We already have a ceasefire that's been violated by both sides. It's sort of anyone's guess exactly where we'll land. And it's moving so quickly that even by the time you listen to today's show, circumstances may have changed. The question to Karoline Leavitt was, if Iran shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, is there a plan by the United States to add oil to the global market? Because otherwise prices are going to skyrocket, and then gas prices are going to skyrocket. Leavitt's answer is Iran would be foolish to shut down the Strait of Hormuz.
If Iran shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, is there a plan by the U.S. to add oil to the global market? We saw the Biden administration do the strategic petroleum release. Is there a plan?
I can assure you the administration is actively and closely monitoring the situation in the Strait of Hormuz, and the Iranian regime would be foolish to make that decision.
Question: do you have a plan to deal with that? Answer: Iran would be foolish to do that. The problem is that we're already seeing an uptick in gas prices up about 5% over the last couple of weeks. And this is before the supply was actually constrained. They simply do not have plans. Now, I've been careful for more than a decade on this show not to give presidents more credit, nor to give presidents more blame for gas prices being up or down. Presidents can only really do a couple of things with regard to gas prices. I've told you the list. One thing presidents can do is release oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the SPR. This can temporarily lower prices, believed to be somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 cents a gallon. Temporary, and that's all that will be. The other thing presidents can do is they can do a gas tax holiday. This is briefly removing taxes on gas, making it cheaper by saying for this period of time, this weekend, for example, or during this 24-hour period, there will be no taxes on gasoline. Therefore, that will make gas briefly cheaper. The third thing presidents can do to impact gas prices is to bomb or go to war with people who can affect supply. And that is exactly what Donald Trump did. And that is what Iran can do with the Strait of Hormuz. Now, do they have any plan to deal with that? It's very clear that they do not. Karoline Leavitt also asked during the same question and answer period at the White House on regime change. Why has the perspective changed so quickly? And going from regime change is not the plan to I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that.
On regime change, that question of if the president was supporting that idea of having Iran's supreme leader assassinated, he's now floating this idea of regime change. Is that an idea that he would consider?
I'm not going to get ahead of the president. I just explained his truth to you last night.
There you go. So that has gone from very clearly a no, this is not about regime change over the weekend and late weekend into Monday, to now certainly not a no. Very different than what we heard just days ago. One thing that is important to understand about her getting ahead of the president, it's impossible to get ahead of the president because even Trump doesn't really know what he's going to do 2 minutes from now, as we saw this morning from this mishmash of Truth Social posts about a ceasefire and then dropping an F-bomb and saying the ceasefire has been ended and then going back to Truth Social and saying we're going to keep the ceasefire. You can't get ahead of the president in the sense that Trump doesn't even have a clue what he's doing. This is the environment in which we're operating. We're doing our best to keep you up to date on what's going on, and also what's going on is changing by the minute. So after the break, we're going to talk about media reaction to a lot of the chaos here. We are going to discuss issues related to some of the ancillary and tangential aspects of this conflict. We will deal with those who are saying Trump now deserves the Peace Prize because of what he did and so much more. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. It's free, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. And make sure you're getting my Substack at davidpakman.substack.com. Very quick break, back right after this. Many of us know it can be tough to stay on top of nutrition every single day, especially when things get busy and hectic. That is why I've made AG1 part of my morning routine. AG1 has now launched their next gen formula, still just a scoop a day, but it's been upgraded with more vitamins and minerals, a stronger probiotic blend. And this is the biggest thing. clinically backed by 4 human clinical trials. Most supplements don't go through anything like that. In one clinical trial, AG1 Next Gen increased healthy gut bacteria by 10 times. It's also clinically shown to help fill common nutrient gaps, even if you eat pretty well already. I mix AG1 with water before my world famous cappuccino in the morning. Quick, tastes good, just helps me feel like I'm covering my nutritional bases. And now, clinically backed with an advanced formula, it's the perfect time to try AG1 if you haven't. Head to drinkag1.com/Pacman to subscribe. You'll get a free bottle of AG D3K2, a welcome kit, and 5 travel packs with your first order. The link is in the description.